On my way to the post office, going down the Parks Highway. I'm going to turn on to the parks here. And the park is up here about 3 or 4 miles. There's a national park sign. And before I go any further, I gotta stop at the post office box and pick up Cindy's package. So we'll head over there. The Parks Road from the post office. We're coming up, we're about probably 2 miles up the road from the post office, and we're coming into park headquarters. So this is park headquarters, and that is where the sled dogs are kept. We continue on up the road here, and about another mile or two, we'll be back up into the high country. Get around this corner and I'll be able to show you where we're headed. Okay, so this is the beginning of the high country. We're going to continue on up here, and I'll take some clips as we go. Okay, I'm going to shoot out the passenger window here so you get a sense for the high country up here. View out the driver's window on the other side of the vehicle, so you can see that we're surrounded by the mountains. Heading up to mile number 9, which is one of my favorite spots. And I'm going to do a little 2-mile walk to try to get my muscles in my hip to cooperate, because it's hurting a little bit right now. But so I'm going to stay walking on the road, but this is our favorite turnout, mile 9 here. So I'm going to turn around and get the car on the other side of the road and begin my hike. The beginning of the Savage Alpine Trail, low here on the trees. The trailhead is actually back right down over there where the road is. So we hike through the trees and on up the apron, and then we go to the right between those two peaks. There's a trail that wraps around the left side, the peak on the left side. It wraps around it, and you come up through that gap right in the top middle part of the picture and over the other side. And it's really pretty alpine country up there. We've seen some nice Dall sheep, and it's really fun to climb around on the rocks up there. And then we continue on to the west in this direction, the trail would be hidden by this ridge, and you end up dropping down to the Savage River Gorge. And the gorge is between the trees in the foreground and that mountain in the background. The mountain in the background is called Mount Margaret, and there's a lot of adult sheep up there as well. Coming up on Savage River here, I don't think I can get, yeah, there we go, Mount Margaret and the ice. I'm going to try to zoom in on the ice and you can see how thick it is, if this will work. I'm not sure that does it justice, but it's pretty thick. It looks like it's a good 3 or 4 feet thick right there. So this is Savage River at mile 15. To the right hand side, and I'll sweep over here. Right down that canyon is where I slipped in the ice 3 weeks ago and re-injured my side, right down there. And a couple years ago, Cindy and I had parked right over there in that parking lot and did a hike down that ravine on the right hand side, came up on the left hand side, and there was a big grizzly bear right there, and we had to turn around and retrace our steps and go back through the ravine and back up the right side again. We'll be traveling past the Savage River Guard Station, which you can only do during what they call the spring shoulder season and the fall shoulder season, before they close this part of the road up to public access, which is usually up there. And a calf, you can see the little calf in the middle. I'm hoping that the focus, there's the moose. It's a cow moose. Little calf on the left hand side. Browsing on some willow. A little panoramic view, that's Mount Wright there. And let's see what it's like here. And that big mountain right there is Mount McKinley, what we call Denali, I'm sorry. We have the Sanctuary River. We're probably about 10 miles or so away from Teklenika. You can get some sense of the thickness of the ice if I can zoom in on this. Pretty thick on that side. We're actually on a bridge, and I'll pan over here and we're kind of shooting into the sun a bit, but there's the, so this is upstream here, and the water is flowing right at us. There's a campground here, and Cindy and I hope to bike here from the Savage River parking lot I showed you earlier to camp for a. Now we're looking at the Teklenika River area, sort of a valley type of terrain. And we're going to go down this road. You see the white band that runs horizontally from left to right, so the road goes just to our side of that. So this will go down, follow the river, and we'll follow the river all the way down over there to where it disappears, and that will be Teklenika Rest Area. So this is the Teklenika River. We're at the Teklenika Rest Area, and we're looking due south, and I'll pan it around a little bit. To take a little hike from the Teklenika stop rest area down towards the bridge at the river, and Cindy knows where that is. And I just met someone who said they saw some fresh bear tracks down there, so we'll go see what we can see. I do have my bear spray with me, and I'll be keeping my eyes open, and if nothing else, maybe I could get a look at the tracks. So, okay, let's see if that looks better. Got a better setting on the camera. Okay, so that's looking north up the Tech River Valley. So I hiked the road from the parking lot, which is right about in the middle of the picture behind those trees. So I hiked down there, met a lady who was scurrying back to her car because she saw fresh bear tracks. So I figured I'd come down and check it out, but I haven't seen anything yet. And here we'll pan to the north and see if this is any better. Oh yeah, that's pretty good actually. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's the Tech River Bridge here where the buses go over starting in a month. Cars not allowed, and that's the Tech Valley. Now looking north again at the Tech River and trying to figure out where the bear was, but I've found some human tracks here. Let's see. Okay, well there's some human tracks down to the river right there, but I don't see any bear tracks. There's some tracks right there. Got a pretty wide gate. It looks like too much distance between the front and the rear for a grizz. It's probably a moose there. Okay, well I decided to hang out here and have lunch, so I got my almonds here, and just so you're all aware of that right there. Focus is my bear spray, so I'm not unprotected out here. Besides, I think I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for decades. So at any rate, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to set this camera up and maybe give you a nice shot here of the whole valley. If I can work this out just right. Something in the order of that. A creek going by. Oh, sit still for me. It's not too bad. So that's my view while I eat lunch here. Last panorama here of the Tech River Valley as I'm hiking back up from the bridge, back up to the rest area. You can see a lot of the snow has melted now, especially in the mountains. There we go. It's pretty much snow and frozen ice in terms of the river. Here's a hike Cindy and I did last summer with our friends from Anchorage. We started right here actually, and we went straight away from the camera like you see towards those peaks right there, and we got up not all the way to the top of the peaks, but along the edge. And then we moved this way down and then climbed the ridge there, and that ridge continues all the way back down there, and then we went downhill back to the campground. And that was a kind of a tough hike because it was bushwhacking the whole way. There is no trail, and the tussocks on the tundra are really tough to walk on. But we made it. We had a good time. We got eaten by mosquitoes because I think it was like the warmest day of the year, and there are tons of them out. But it was just a great hike. So there's a herd of caribou. This is in the Tech River Valley. They're nervous because there's another car ahead of me watching them. I'm hoping for a road crossing. Here they come. Maybe they'll do it. They're coming my way. This could work out. Here they come. Here comes some idiot in a car. It's going to scare them away. Well, they've certainly noticed that guy go drive by. They're a little skittish right now. There they are. More caribou. Right where I thought they would be. We're going to try to cross this road still. They're a little bit nervous because there's a few cars around right now. And then if you go up here, here's the lead caribou. Oh, where is he? Yeah, there he is. He's the one that's going to lead them across the road. He's very aware of us. They're going to make a mad dash for it at some point. Okay, I'm going to move down because I think I know exactly where they're going to cross the road. Who's here? Back down the park road to go home, and this is what it looks like facing the opposite direction of when I came up. This is looking to the east, and the big mountains on the right corner there are Mount Deborah, Mount Hess. You probably can't see Mount Hayes, but it's the sort of central part of the Alaskan range, and we live part way up that slope. I'll try to shoot it once from the park, and then I'll do a little video clip driving up the road to our house. So this is heading east and out of the park. Windshield. We live on not the hill there in the foreground, but the other hill. Be right in the middle center, right on the top of that ridge. Not this big bald one, but the one right over here with the Pyramid Mountain behind it. Where I work now used to be called McKinley Village Lodge. It's called Denali Park Village now. And if you look in the middle of the screen up top, you'll see a peak. And then to the right, it's sort of a bluff. It's a big ridge. And our house is right on the top of that ridge. Now I can zoom in. I doubt seriously you'll see it. Turn off the Parks Highway here. And we are at the beginning of the road that leads us to our cabin. And it's snow-free for the first time. Yesterday, actually, all the snow had melted, so this is kind of what it looks like in the summer, except you don't have the snow on the side of the road, and you can see the big mountain range there in Denali, right there in the background. So we are going to come up here just a little bit, and we're going to turn right and head up what would be sort of called our driveway. It's actually a secondary road since there's a few other cabins up there where we live. It's not technically our own driveway. So we're gonna turn here and we're gonna head up a little ways and then go up the ridge. So, and all the snow's melted off this road, which is nice. It's a little bit bumpy because of the ruts in it from the snow, and now there's somebody in the middle of the road, so I'm gonna have to turn this camera off or they're gonna think I'm strange. And we're gonna go ahead and turn up what Cindy calls our driveway. So this is probably a good half a mile long. I'm gonna hit a lot of water in here, so it'll spray all over. I can't see the water spraying, but it is. Okay, so far so good. And now we hit the steep part, and it's gonna be a bit tricky if it's muddy, so I'm gonna do the best I can with the camera and try to keep the truck on the road. There we go. It's a pretty steep hill. It may not look like it on the camera, but it is. Yeah, we're slipping in the mud a little bit. We're on the edge of this hill, but it's making it okay. We have good tires. Bump I gotta get through. Boom. Stop for a second here couldn't steer the truck and do the camera at the same time, so we'll continue on here. Pretty muddy today. It's warm. It's 50 degrees. Here's a sharp corner here, so I hopefully won't drop the camera. Slide the truck too bad. There we go. A little bit of snow on the road, mud. Keep up constant acceleration so you don't get stuck in the mud. Standing water here. And we're doing this in two-wheel drive, so that's why we slip a little bit. I didn't see any point in putting it in four-wheel drive. Stop and show you a view here from right about there. I'm going to stop the truck. We're not quite to the cabin, but I'm going to turn this camera around so you can see the view downhill. That's the beginning of the Alaska Range. Right there. And there's the ridge on the other side of the Parks Highway. And we swing around here, and that's our road. So continue on here. It's a nice view in the other direction too. I don't know that I can get that right now, so stick with shooting the road. And we got a little bit of slop on the road still, but that's not too slippery. A little bit of ice under this snow. Not too bad. I'm going to try to get a shot to our right. You saw the shot the other side of us. I don't know. I'm going to shoot this. I'm going to point this out the windshield over on this side. So on this side you can see the big mountains and then out the passenger door. So we got big giant mountains either side of us as we're coming down our road to the cabin. And we're almost there. Okay. I think we're getting there. This is a okay, and the last part's the steepest. I have to spin the truck around here a little bit in the mud to get this thing to land right. And I didn't quite make it, so I'm gonna... But we're basically here. I just have to get the truck around the tree. Here it's sliding in the mud. And I don't want to hit the fuel barrel in front of me. That's the cabin, but I'm trying to get this parked a little bit better. Well, that's going to have to do for right now. So let me back this up. And there's the cabin. And if we look to our left down our driveway, there's the other cabin down the road. So I'm going to go shoot the view from our deck here in just a second, and maybe tomorrow I'll do a tour of the house. An official tour of the house. This is just walking through our entryway with all our millions of coats and down booties and winter gear stored up on the shelf, and then we walk in and here's the living room in general, but we're just going to go over to the deck so you can see that view. Here's a quick look at the kitchen, and here's the living room, and the bedroom is over here. And then we have stairs and a loft upstairs, but what I want to do right now is just show you the deck and the view from the deck. So this is out the window of the deck, and you can see the mountain peaks right out our window. Nice view right there. We're going to open the door and go outside. And so this is what our deck looks like. We got one lawn chair out here, and we keep our bikes out here. Another lawn chair, and this is my radio antenna. I don't know if you can see that, but it goes down hill. But here is basically the view from the deck. There we go. Look way down there. That's where I work. That's what you saw in the previous shot from the road looking up here. We're now up here looking down there. So here we are. This is the mountains that we see every day from our deck. Pretty nice day. Well, that's about it for today. Hope you enjoyed it.